Alright, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mr. Carnage, and we're going to continue our conversation about the tech industry and heading kind of home with the graphics cards and the GPU shortage. So I do have some friends and some people I know that said, well, one of the best ways that you can get a card is to sign up for the notification systems. And honestly, I kind of laughed because if anybody knows how those notification systems actually work, they probably wouldn't really get their hopes up. Because see, how it actually works is you put in your information, whether it's, text message, email, they're all kind of different, is that people that have the bots that are going do the same thing. So actually their bots have tons of different emails. They have, things like text now, just a fake phone number, stuff like that. So when they get that notification, the bots buy up the stock as quick as possible, right? So I've tested most of these notification systems, and I've noticed that most of them have a massive delay. One was almost 3 hours when I looked at the actual notification on the site when it went out to the time I personally got the notification was almost 3 hours. Obviously that doesn't do anybody any good because 3 hours is way too long if you're trying to look for a card and you're competing against the scalpers and the miners that are all using bots to buy up all the stock. So, a good way to get a card right now, if you do not want to spend, an arm and a leg and a fortune and get all mad when you're kicking the cat and you're throwing a fit and beating on your chest pissed off, is unfortunately you got to do a lot of due diligence. Okay? Now, you go to a place like this on Newegg and you see the prices of the cards, and I can tell you right now, none of these cards are worth the price that they're listed as. Okay. Now, I've gotten a couple of video cards in the last 6 months, and the way I was able to do it was go to eBay, okay, and Google Shop, and sometimes it'll take you, 6, 7, 8, 9 days until you find a card that, is reasonably priced. But the best way to do it is, there's two ways on eBay. One is if you see a card for buy it now that's just a tiny bit over MSRP, I know it sucks, but it's best to get a card that way. Now you're probably looking at most likely a 16 series or a 10 series card. Okay. Most likely you will not find an RTX 20 or an RTX 30 series card for less than $1,000 on eBay. Or, for that matter, Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, you name it. So, with that being said, you're going to have to check these seller sites. Okay? Now, sometimes you will find a decent video card that's brand new, not used, that's backed by some type of, guarantee, whether it's from eBay or Google or whatever. So when you're buying that card, God forbid something goes wrong, A, you can get your money back, or B, that if it's not a real card, like it's from Wish.com, because they do sell cards, and a lot of times those cards aren't what they say they are, you'll be able to get that rectified. So, that being said, you really got to put in the leg time. And I know it sucks going to eBay 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day for 2 weeks. But that is the only way you're ever going to find a video card at a decent price. Okay? Now, the 16 series, it doesn't have ray tracing. It doesn't have all the new bells and whistles that the RTX series does. But a 1650 Super or 1660 Super will get you by for now. There's not a game out on the market that you can't play right, with that card. Okay, there's not a game that won't let you play it with a 16 series card. You can play just any game with a 16 series card. Is it viable? Yes. I mean, are you going to be blowing through at 189 FPS? Probably not. But it's give or take. If you want that kind of gaming experience right now and the way the things are, you're going to dish out $1,000 or more. It's just the way it is. So if you can get by, I would say a 1660 Super will probably last you the next 2 years. You could get by with that card until we see the market kind of balance itself out. Okay? If you're thinking AMD, look, I don't have anything against AMD personally. Like, I'm a big AMD fan. But when it comes to video cards, especially older series cards, if you can find a NVIDIA 16 series, go with that. If you're thinking about something like a, AMD, a 550 or 560, you're going to be pretty disappointed, because if you actually do a bench test, you're better off getting a 1050 or a 1060. They do perform better overall, even though that the clock speed on both those cards are a little bit higher than a 1050. Trust me, I've owned both, and I can honestly tell you from personal experience, I would go with the 1050 Ti or a 1060 card over a 550 or a 560. Now, if you can find a 580 or a 590, yeah, go with that card. Especially a 590, if you can get it with, the 6 or 8 gig version of the card, definitely go for that. So, those are my tips to help you out. Do not rely on the notification system, because I am telling you now, the way the database works to notify everybody on the list, more than half of those that they're notifying are bots. And bots are automatic. They're just sitting there. And that's all it does. Refresh, 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 refresh. You can't really compete with that unless you're doing the same thing. But that means, you're going to have a toilet at your computer. And you're going to have to sit here hitting the F5 key. And you better hope to God your mom will bring you a Hot Pocket or something, because you're going to be sitting there just over and over. So, with that being said, that is unfortunately where we're at. So, try the eBay thing. Like I said, it could take a week, it could take 2 weeks, it could take a month, but just keep looking. You will eventually find a card, brand new, that'll be decently priced that you can buy, because some sellers do get desperate and they just want to get rid of some of the stock so they can get the money and buy the better cards when they come out. Okay? So keep trying. And on that note, we're going to end this video with a little trivia. And I'm sure that some of you younger guys probably wouldn't know this, but the Pentium 2 it came on what was basically a cartridge. It was a card. Can anybody in the comments below tell me why they went away from the card and why they ended up going back to the normal square processor? Let me know in the comments below, and we will catch you on the next video. If you want to get more information like this, just want to join me, hearing more about kicking cats and moms bringing Hot Pockets, hit the subscribe button, and we will catch you on the next video.